Welcome to episode 13 of the Italian Americans in Hollywood podcast series. I'm Daley Giacopella.
And I'm Sadie Bruni.
Today, we're going to be talking about James Gandolfini.
An actor whose presence on screen is just unforgettable.
Yeah, the man who brought Tony Soprano to life.
Mm.
So James Gandolfini started his journey September 18th, 1961 in Westwood, New Jersey.
His birth name was James Joseph Gandolfini Jr.
I always think it's so interesting, some actors adopt stage names and some stick with their full name.
Yeah.
What do you think made Gandolfini stick with his full name?
Well, I think it shows his strong connection to his Italian-American heritage.
Yeah, his parents, Santa and James Joseph Gandolfini Sr., were both Italian immigrants.
His mother was a high school lunch lady.
Oh, wow.
And his father worked as a bricklayer and then later a school custodian.
There's very blue-collar background.
Yeah.
I feel that hard work and family values informs an actor's approach to acting.
Absolutely. I think that instilled in him a strong work ethic and a sense of authenticity.
And his Italian roots run deep.
Oh, very deep. His mother was from Naples, and his father emigrated from Borgatara, which is near Parma.
So a real mix of Italian culture there.
Yes.
And Gandolfini was married twice.
First to Marcy Włodarski and then to Deborah Lynn.
And from his first marriage, he had a son, Michael.
Who was also an actor.
That's amazing.
It is.
Keeping it in the family.
It is very nice.
And he had a daughter, Liliana, from his second marriage.
Yes.
It's nice to think about that he was a family man as well as playing these iconic roles.
Yes.
And Gandolfini was the first in his family
to go into the entertainment industry.
So he was a real trailblazer.
He was.
But before he was an actor, he worked a series of jobs.
Yes.
That you might not expect.
Like a bartender.
Oh.
A bouncer.
Okay.
And a club manager.
That's fascinating.
It is very different from the characters that he played later.
Yeah, it makes you wonder if he took any of that, those experiences and used them for his acting.
Well, he was exposed to a wide range of personalities and situations.
Yeah.
I'm sure that shaped his worldview.
Yeah. So when did he actually make his acting debut?
In the late 1980s.
I remember, I think one of the first things I ever saw him in was an episode of NYPD Blue.
Yes.
But I think he started in film.
He did. His very first film role was in 1987.
Okay.
Called Shock. Shock. Shock.
Wow.
Not a major role.
No.
But the beginning.
Yeah. And then his breakthrough role, I think everyone would agree, was in True Romance in 1993.
Playing Virgil the Hitman.
It's interesting how that kind of foreshadowed his most famous role as Tony Soprano.
There's a through line there.
Yeah.
Between those characters.
And it's hard to imagine anyone else playing Tony Soprano.
The creator, David Chase, saw something special in him.
Yeah.
A blend of vulnerability and menace.
And he brought a depth and complexity to the character. I think that's...
It made him one of the most memorable characters in television history.
It's a masterclass in acting.
It is.
And he won awards for it.
Yeah. 3 Primetime Emmy Awards for Outstanding Lead Actor.
And a Screen Actors Guild Award.
Yes, for his work on that show.
It's amazing how one performance can have such an impact.
It is.
If you're enjoying this, please subscribe for daily shorts and video podcasts. Also, check out 4 of the best books related to The Sopranos links in description.
Gandolfini's talent went beyond The Sopranos.
Oh, absolutely.
He played a stuntman in Get Shorty.
Okay.
He was in The Mexican with Brad Pitt and Julia Roberts.
So he really had a range.
He did.
And his final film performance was in Enough Said.
Released in 2013 after his death.
It's so sad when we lose such a versatile actor.
It is. He was only 51.
Are there any lesser-known facts about him?
Well, he was very shy and reserved in real life.
Really?
He was philanthropic,
Okay.
especially with veterans.
I didn't know that.
And he loved motorcycles.
Wow.
And Gandolfini's work with veterans, it really shows how committed he was.
Yeah, it's one thing to just, lend your name to something,
Right.
But to really get involved. You mentioned that documentary, Alive Day Memories, Home from Iraq.
Yes.
What drove him to make that?
He had a deep sense of empathy, and he wanted to shed light on the human cost of war.
I can't even imagine, sitting down with veterans and hearing their stories.
Yeah, it takes courage and compassion.
So much.
To really understand their experiences.
And that documentary, it's so powerful.
It is. It's a look at the physical and emotional scars of war.
And I think having him there to do the interviews, must, added a certain level of trust and vulnerability.
Yeah, he connected with people on a human level.
It's interesting how his philanthropy kind of aligns with his on-screen persona, too.
Yeah, that protectiveness, loyalty.
Like with Tony Soprano.
Yeah, maybe it's that same instinct to defend those who are vulnerable.
It's fascinating.
It is.
And, we were talking about the motorcycles before.
Yes.
So he was a big motorcycle enthusiast.
He had a collection of motorcycles.
I can't picture him on a motorcycle. It's amazing.
What do you think drew him to it?
Maybe it was that freedom,
Yeah.
The open road escape from Hollywood.
Maybe the adrenaline rush.
Or both.
Right.
It's really cool to think about,
It is.
that these tough guy actors have these,
Hidden depths.
Yeah.
They're human beings
Yeah.
with their own passions and desires.
And we've talked a little bit about how his Italian-American heritage really informed his career.
Yeah, his upbringing in New Jersey immersed him in Italian-American culture.
Right for the beginning.
His parents instilled a strong sense of family and tradition.
I feel that that's a big part of, Italian-American culture.
It is.
And you can see it in a lot of his roles.
Definitely in his portrayal of Italian-American characters.
He brought such authenticity to those roles.
He understood the culture.
Even back in True Romance, playing that hitman.
Yes. Very complex character.
And, of course, there's Tony Soprano.
Yeah, that was groundbreaking.
He didn't shy away from portraying the criminal element.
Right.
But he also showed the complexity of family loyalty.
Yeah, and the internal struggle.
It really resonated with people.
Especially Italian-Americans.
It was a representation that felt authentic.
Yeah.
Gandolfini's legacy as an Italian-American actor, it's undeniable.
He helped to pave the way for more nuanced and authentic portrayals of Italian-Americans in Hollywood.
His contribution to the entertainment industry and the representation of his heritage is huge.
It is. He was a trailblazer.
That's amazing.
It is.
So, moving on to his final film, Enough Said.
It was bittersweet for audiences to see him in that role.
Yeah, because it was so different from his iconic Tony Soprano.
It was.
It showed his incredible range as an actor.
It did. He played Albert, a divorced dad navigating the world of online dating.
Okay.
It was a departure from the intense dramatic roles.
Yeah, and he had that comedic timing.
He did.
And the vulnerability and tenderness.
It felt so relatable.
There's a real warmth to his performance. In Enough Said.
It shows that even the toughest guys have a soft side.
And Enough Said was a good way to say farewell.
It was.
We got to see him in a new light.
It was a reminder that we should never underestimate an actor's ability to surprise us.
And it's a reminder that we lost him way too soon.
It is.
So as we're talking about Gandolfini's legacy,
yes,
it's clear he was more than just an actor.
He was a cultural icon.
He redefined what it meant to be a leading man.
Yeah, he paved the way for more complex and nuanced characters.
His portrayal of Tony Soprano really challenged our perceptions of heroes and villains.
It did.
He showed that darkness exists even in ordinary people.
Yes.
But he still managed to make Tony relatable, in a way.
He did. He was a master of subtlety
Yeah.
and nuance.
He could convey so much with just a look.
It's true.
He had that magnetic presence.
He did.
And his impact on TV drama.
Oh, it's undeniable.
He really pushed the boundaries of storytelling.
Yeah.
Embracing that complexity.
And moral ambiguity.
But besides all that, he was also known for his kindness.
Yes.
He was very private and humble.
He was a generous philanthropist.
And he used his platform for good.
He did.
Supporting veterans
Yes.
and other causes.
It's sad that he's gone.
It is.
He was a man of substance and integrity.
If you're enjoying this, please subscribe for daily shorts and video podcasts. Also, check out 4 of the best books related to The Sopranos, links in description.
And we'll be back soon with another captivating look at the lives and legacies of Italian-Americans in Hollywood.
It's interesting how even in his last film, Gandolfini was still challenging our perceptions of him as an actor.
Yeah, Enough Said showed us a side of him that we hadn't really seen before.
He played Albert, a divorced dad trying to figure out online dating.
It was a real change from those intense, dramatic roles.
It was. And, he had such great comedic timing.
Yeah.
And the vulnerability.
Yeah.
He was so relatable in that film.
It really showed that even tough guys have a soft side.
Enough Said was a good way to say goodbye.
Yeah, it let audiences see him in a new light.
And appreciate his full range of talent.
It's a shame we lost him so young.
When we think about Gandolfini's legacy,
yeah,
he was more than just an actor. He was a cultural icon.
He really changed what it meant to be a leading man.
His portrayal of Tony Soprano made us rethink our ideas of heroes and villains.
Yeah, he showed us the darkness that's in everyone.
But he still made Tony relatable.
Gandolfini's performance was just incredible.
He could say so much without even speaking.
He had a way of capturing your attention.
And his influence on television drama?
Nobody can deny it.
He pushed the boundaries of storytelling
Yeah.
and showed us the complexity of human nature.
But he was also a kind and humble person.
Very private.
A generous philanthropist.
He used his fame to help others.
He really did.
It's a loss for everyone.
It is.
James Gandolfini was one of a kind.
A true talent taken too soon.
Thanks for joining us as we look back on his life and career.
We hope this gave you a new appreciation for his work.
Please subscribe, like, and turn on your notifications.